Wake up, buyer payer people. It's a beautiful day. Go grab yourself another cup of joe and say hello to Jim and Michelle Rhoads on the Buy Here Pay Here Morning Show. Take it away, you two.
Hello, everybody.
Happy Wednesday.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Wednesday.
Is our audio good?
I think we're good so far.
You hearing
go
us
ahead
out
and
in
say
listener
good morning.
land?
Let us know where you're listening from, and yeah, we can go and get started. We were doing some sound checks with Scott, who's our guest today,
Mr.
and
Scott,
so we're hoping that we can make it work. There was a little bit of an echo, so hopefully we can make that work and
see
so
when
y'all
we bring him in.
Can hear us well. So what do we have happening this week? What
a couple
announcements?
of announcements. Well, just one quick update. Yesterday, I got the email out to all the, I'll call them data holders, all the folks in the industry who are in possession of good amounts of buy here, pay here data and contracts. And so we're angling for August 1st will be the date of our live stream. And so we're just starting to pull together data on that. Of course,
and
Brent
Carmichael will be there, and he's already got a whole bunch of NCM data that he's going to be submitting.
Basically producing.
Yeah, and so we've got it out, the request out to a lot of other people. Where the topic for the event on August 1st is deal structure.
Right.
And
got 4 topics, 4 sessions. We're going to drill into performance of loans and just look at the numbers, look at what the data says in terms of APR, down payment, term of loan, et cetera. So again, we're just going to do 4 sessions and pick one topic at a time and try to dig into those things.
So we already have it up on Eventbrite. And if you go to also Buy Here Pay Here Nation television to the upcoming events.
I think you mean BHPH Nation TV.
BHPH Nation TV. Sorry, BHPHNationTV.com. We already have it set up so you can just go ahead and register. We're still putting together the page and everything for the actual event, but it's going to be one that will be heavy on data, but the kind of data that everyone wish they had and everyone will benefit greatly from.
Right.
And so it's like what in the industry is really working in deal structures.
Right.
For like the term of the loan and all of that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So
very good.
What else do we have?
Really
NIADA.
We got that coming up, which we can talk
Accelerate
about with Mr.
conference. We can. It's coming up here pretty soon. And I think that is
that's all I've got.
And we have our first we've talked a little bit about we're doing a special event in September. Which is going to be a dealer, kind of like a mastermind. And we're only having 4 dealers. And we just sent this out recently. We already have one that signed up. So we only have 3 spots left. If you'd like to get some information. Yeah, Colorado in September. It's a 3-day intensive with the industry experts. And you get to bring your +1. To it.
You get to hang out with Brent Carmichael, Mark Burkholder, and Michelle.
And me.
And Michelle. So that's cool. So
and we have one more slot for a expert that will be coming, and we've got we're waiting on it.
And just reach out if you have interest in that. That's really just for dealers who are facing some big decisions, big pivots in their business, maybe looking to retire, those kind of things. So if folks are looking for that sort of thing, a 3-day retreat to get in with the experts and build a strategy. So shall we bring in our
We shall.
We've got Mr. Scott Allen, the president.
Good morning, Scott.
Good morning. Yeah, I think that the problem that we might be having with our connection may be on my end, because as you guys went live, I heard you perfectly. It didn't seem to break up at all.
Oh, good.
But we'll see if it's holds up.
Oh, well, we could hopefully not confuse the listeners.
Yeah. We had a few minutes to work on it. So I got a couple things we want to talk about, Scott, but of course, the main thing is just to kind of we want to, of course, talk about the upcoming conference. There's plenty to talk about with that. And we just are aware that your term as president is winding down. And our understanding is that you will you have to be officially confirmed to be the chairman of the board. Is that right? At the upcoming conference, a formality that we'll breeze right through. So you'll be chairman of the board come July, right?
That is correct. Yep. So the last elected position that I held was president-elect. When I was elected for president-elect, and then president and chairman of the board are pretty much just set positions that you move into after becoming president. So
very good.
Fall into that chairmanship and look forward to it.
You have had an active president. You have had a lot of things going on between DPG merger, bringing in Jeff Martin as the new CEO. There's just been quite a bit of stuff going on.
Yeah, the first SERPU forum in November, which it was a completely different format for
big success. Yeah. So we're glad to have the chance to congratulate you.
Well, thank you. It has been an awesome year. You never know what you're going to get when, as far as timing goes. I just happened to fall right into this particular period of time, and then try to do my very, very best to do what's best for our members during that period of time. I started off kind of on a whirlwind tour the first 3 or 4 months of my term, from June till about October, where I visited several state conventions around the country. Really wanted to get in there and not only educate myself at these conventions, but network with my dealers all across the country, find out what they really need, what they really want from their national association. And then I've continued to try to push that forward throughout the year.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that have been going on in the on the legislative side during your term?
Most of it has been on the legislative side. Of course, we have our policy conference. We're always watching. Most of it is on the regulatory side, I would say. Hasn't been a lot of legislative activity other than trying to, extend the debt ceilings and all those things that have been going on. But it's definitely been FTC and CFPB have been very, very busy. And we've been very, very busy working with them, and we'll continue to do so as we go forward. And as you guys know, one of the greatest things I think about the upcoming convention in a few days is the CFPB and the FTC, as well as the IRS, are going to be there. And we're not going to hear second or third hand what they're working on, what they're expecting to do. And we're going to have the opportunity, and our members are going to have an opportunity to ask them questions directly. So
I've been really impressed with the inroads. It's just kind of watching over the course of the last year how there's just been a deeper and deeper connection and communication between those organizations. And that is a huge win for NIADA to have them there. Is there anything special that happened to get them there? Or is this just something that you just extended the invitation? They're like, yep, sure.
Persistence. That was the key. And it's really been ongoing, not just this year, but for many years to get to this point. And it's really persistence. We continue to reach out to them as stakeholders to tell them that we have valuable information that they can use when they're making their rule writings or when they're contemplating helping consumers in whatever way it might be. I think that we've just continue to push that ball forward. And this is started as many as 8 or 9 years ago, I think, when I came onto the board. And I think that what we're seeing is the fruits of that process playing out over time.
Right.
Well, bravo. Yeah. It really is something that, that it happened within your tenure. But I just say, if this has been something that's been the making for the last 8 to 10 years, thank you to all that have been a part of that, because that really is, it's a big thing to be able to allow the dealers to hear it from the horse's mouth about, what's happening and ask their own questions and all of that.
For the very beginning of that process, we were reaching out to them on a regular basis, and now they're reaching out to us. As you know, when we had a couple of major buy here, pay here, operations who struggled this year and maybe closing their doors, the CFPB reached out to us immediately and asked us, how is this affecting consumers? What do you think is the fallout? Do you see more of this coming, and how do you think it will affect our consumers? Of course, we've been giving the message that, the consumers are protected. Those loans are going to be serviced, and the consumer is not really going to be hurt in the long term. But it's certainly a new and very exciting for them to reach out to us now and start asking us, how is that affecting you? And what do you think we can do together to make this better? So that's the real big change over the last year.
That's really great.
That's really, really great. That's
that
really
kind of
fantastic.
collaboration. And it's yet another reason for dealers to, get involved in that association. And those who don't know, you typically do that through your state association.
Yep.
You can reach out to us. You can reach out to Scott and the association to find out if you have a state chapter. If you're not familiar, then they can let you know. And if there's not one, then you can go directly to the national, I'm sure. But
your state membership just automatically gets you everything within the national. And we are big. We're big advocates for the state and national associations. And if there's only, I'm beating not a dead horse, because that's not really a great, but if there's anything that you can hang your hat on about where that money is going for your dues, it is the state and national associations are the only ones that have this kind of voice on Capitol Hill, where they are in direct communication with the CFPB, and that is enough to make it absolutely worth every single penny.
I totally agree with you. And I've always said that advocacy was like the number one thing for me. Obviously there's the education, the networking, all the other things that can be done through the association that can help you with your business and the return on your investment. But being connected on the legislative level at the state, on the Capitol, and in Washington, D.C. is really, as you know, as a part of your state dues, whatever they might be, anywhere from $100 to $500, depending on what state you may be in, is $60 of that dues is what goes to NIADA to help us facilitate your advocacy needs and wishes there in Washington, D.C. And we think that's extremely important, and we'll continue to push that ball forward.
Yeah. Always. That's great stuff. Yeah. So let's talk about the convention. We've seen the agenda. Of course, we're going to be a part of the agenda, and there on Thursday we have a session ourselves. But wow, it just looks like a ton of great stuff. And of course, we're looking at the buy here, pay here side, and we know that this convention is really, meant to serve the independent retail dealer as well. So yeah, just a ton of great information and great sessions.
No, I agree. Education is one of the best things that you can get from any of those conventions, whether it's state or the national level. Compliance, dealer operations, marketing, data, analytics, leadership. You mentioned buy here, pay here, lease here, pay here, retail, wholesale. We cover it all. And there are over 70 learning sessions there at convention over that 3-day time. I would also encourage the dealers to get there on Monday for some networking opportunities and be a part of what really makes NIADA what it is, and that is the members and the dealers' voice. We have a membership meeting where we will address the last year. We will submit nominations and have an election for the next year's slate of officers. And I would really encourage the dealers out there to participate in that, because nothing is more important to us than having the dealers' voices heard.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's all good stuff. I think the one of the things I would say about the buy here, pay here side in particular is, education is always important, and getting there and getting the latest education is going to be important this year. When I look at kind of the environment that is buy here, pay here, inflation being a factor, cost of cars up, cost of money is up. So I just think dealers who are educated and have the best information, the best coaching solutions out there, they're going to have a better chance. It's a difficult time in buy here, pay here with, cost adjusting the way they have. And so we just think education is going to be even more important.
Absolutely. You've got to leverage everything that you have and available to you. And there's not a better way to do that by spending 3 days at this convention where you network with the other dealers. There's going to be some great opportunities for education. And we've even got some new things that are happening to try to accommodate everyone in the way they like to learn as well. And then again, of course, bringing the CFPB, the FTC, the IRS, everybody there. No secondhand, third-hand information. We're going to hear it directly from them and have an opportunity to ask them questions. I think one of the neat things about this year is we've talked a little about it maybe before, and maybe Jeff has mentioned it, the new service bays that are going to be being conducted during the expo hall. These are 15-minute education sessions that will be on a certain topic, and you can sit through those several of those if you like, and then you can go follow up with those industry partners and vendors who are specializing in that particular area that may help you. So our dealers some like 45 minutes, some like an hour of education, some want it in 15-minute segments, and so we're going to give it to them.
Right. Very good.
One of the other things that the education, having all the special organizations that are going to be there. We just had Candace
Price and
Kendra,
Brown.
and the networking, the being able to talk to other dealers. And I think that we were chatting on the show on Monday that I remember, I think it was the first time that I went to TIADA. I mean, how long have I been doing this? Goodness gracious.
It's really
to the Texas conference.
There you go.
And just sat down, we sat down with our lunch and just started talking with people. And one of the people that was sitting there was Ryan Winkleman.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, and it was like all these, I did not realize when we sat down that we were sitting amongst this is the leadership for Texas, and to listen to their conversation about what they're doing and, trying and just really kind of, talking about their challenges and talking about the things that are happening and about, how they're trying to overcome was magical. And that to me is educational. That's not in a classroom.
No, and it's amazing how dealers open up to other dealers about everything. And those hallway conversations, those conversations when you sit down at a table with a new group of friends. And of course, I always love going to convention because I do make a lot of new friends, and I continue to rekindle those old relationships of those folks that I've seen over many, many years. And the sharing that goes on during the lunches, during the breaks, at the dinners, even after the classes. And then, of course, my absolute favorite is the roundtable discussions that we end with on Thursday is my absolute favorite. I mean, whatever the hot topic is that your table wants to talk about, 4 or 5 or 6 people at your table are all saying, I'm dealing with that too. And then we dive into it and we talk about what we're doing and what's working for me and what's not working for me. And I learned so many different ways to skin that cat, so to speak, in those sessions.
Yeah. I always say there's lots of ways to skin a cat, and they're great for everybody except the cat, right? So
sorry. I'm sorry, I'm from Texas.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Well, I was talking about dead horses.
So, we don't need to keep you. We know you're a busy guy. We're thrilled to have the chance to spend some time with you before. What's that?
We have some.
I know. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that.
Okay. It's like, okay, as a dealer and as a Texan. Go ahead.
No, I just think first of all, we're just thrilled to have a chance to spend some time with you, and thank you for your service in the president's chair for the last year. We've seen a lot of great movement. You're widely respected, and we certainly are glad to have the opportunity to thank you for that time in that chair. We know you're moving over, and of course, our mutual friend Gordy Tormolen is moving into that president's chair, and so he'll be able to carry that baton and continue all of this great progress. So again, we're just really excited to do that. I just want to have a chance to learn from you. I know that when you're not in the car dealership, you also have a ranch. Is that right?
That's correct. In Hamilton, Texas, about a 2-hour drive from Fort Worth, where I reside now. It's cattle and pecans. It's along the Leon River in sort of an old 100-year floodplain. So we have 200-year-old native Texas pecan trees that a fourth generation member of a family that worked those pecans along that river is now helping us with the harvest of pecans, and then we raise cattle as well. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, kind of cattle or cows to cars is kind of the way my dad and I got into this business back in 1991, almost a little over 32 years ago, with the deregulation of the auction industry in the cattle business. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those auctioneers were going from cattle over to cars. And we learned a lot of, kind of started digging into what's going on over there. And here we are 32 years later. It's been one of the greatest decisions I ever made. And what a wonderful industry that we are in, and what great people you are, Jim and Michelle, for advocating for those dealers out there, for having these podcasts that enables me, Gordon, and all your other guests to share with other dealers. I think it's a fantastic platform. I thank you so much for what you guys do. And I look forward to Gordy's term next year. Yeah, he is ready to go. We're in great hands with Gordon, and we're going to do a lot of great things. Of course, Jeff is going to be an instrumental part of building that, the NIADA platform going forward. And we all have a tremendous amount of confidence in what he's going to be able to bring to the table. Sure.
So I got to tell you, did I remember reading that you're an avid bird hunter? Are you a quail hunter?
Oh, I am. If there were enough quails in Texas, not too much. I've done some pheasant. I'm a big dove hunter, though. I mean, we have dove season every September down there at the ranch, and that's a lot of fun. Yeah.
So I may be remembering. Up in Western Oklahoma, farm ranch, a lot of quail hunting. So I thought it'd be fun to test skills on identifying quail. Are you up for that? I got three.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's try it. Let's do the first.
Absolutely, I'm in. I'm ready.
So what kind of
quail?
So what kind? Do you know the speed?
Is it a bobtail?
It's a bob white, yeah.
It's a bob white. So then the
next one I just became more familiar with. Since you recognize this next one, it'd be recognize that.
That's another quail for sure. I'm not really good on the names.
It's okay. It's not like ducks. You don't have to identify them before you shoot them. So you just, this one is a California quail. They're in and out of our yard all the time. Last one, if you want to show them that one, see if you recognize this species.
Oh my goodness. It's beautiful, but no. I think the fire ant did some damage down here over the last 20 or 30 years to the quail.
Oh yeah.
And Quail Run Ranch. About only once or twice a year do we see them.
Oh wow, that's a shame. So I thought you probably were actively hunting quail every season, and so I missed that part. But
Jim wishes that he had a little pinker gun, because I mean we literally have a family of quail that run through the yard all the time, and he's like, wow, that looks like good eating.
They are so beautiful. Yeah. That is so fun.
Yeah. Thanks for
well, sure. Yeah, next time try me on deer. Try me up on some mule deer and
there you go.
Whitetails and those kind of things. I should be a little more familiar with them.
I made the assumption because your ranch is Quail Run. Is that right?
It is. It is. It is.
And I thought I read that. No, we definitely will give you an opportunity to name some more species. There will be plenty of opportunities to have you back on the show. We've enjoyed having you. We know you're also a buy here, pay here dealer, as is the incoming president. So, I think it's important for those dealers out there to understand that, those folks at the top of the association know this space of buy here, pay here quite well. So we're fortunate to have that representation and leadership. So again, Scott, we appreciate you making time to join us.
Thank you again so much, Jim, Michelle. It was absolutely a pleasure to be on with you today.
Thank you.
We hope that we get to have you on many more times through the coming years, and we really do again appreciate all that you have served, all that you've given to the industry.
Thank you. It doesn't stop here. I'll never quit.
I understand that. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
So we can stay properly after.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course.
Look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Well, we got through the audio stuff.
We
That was a
did.
little
I
bit
was
of-
like a fast draw trying to mute
Yeah.
back and forth, but I
Yeah,
think it
just
turned
good
out
job.
pretty well. I guess we need to do our homework a little bit better about quail.
Oh, it was fun anyway.
But it
So,
was fun.
we all learned a little something. So.
Well, and it's Jim learned something because he
Yeah.
was like, "What are the types of quail?" and sent me this, array of photos, and it's like, "Hey, can we put those up on the screen?" It's like, yes,
Yeah,
we
so-
can do that for you. Okay, so what else do we have before we let everybody go?
I think that's it. Just remind
All
everybody
right.
about those events. We got August 1st. Of course, the conference starts on June 19th. I think that
Yes.
Monday that Scott was talking about, folks should get in there and get involved in some networking. Michelle and I will
Mhm.
be in there, and we will make sure people know how to find us. You can always connect with us.
Yeah,
with us on
and we
social
will
media.
we will be speaking, or Jim will be speaking, and I'll be behind the board because we'll be broadcasting the topic live
Mhm.
on Buy Here Pay Here Nation Television TV.
Yeah. So please,
BHPH Nation
you
TV.
folks in Buy Here Pay Here, come sit in on that
But
session.
the topic is actually good for anyone in the independent industry.
True.
So it's not just solely Buy Here Pay Here. So hopefully
Mark Burkholder and
Mark-
Hugo
are
Sanchez
going
will
to be
joining
joining
that
as
session.
well.
So
Yeah. So
we brought
it's-
up the
it's-
IQ level for that one. So yeah, it's all good. We're looking forward to that
It'll
session.
be
And
fun.
if you miss it in the room, you can catch it, live online.
Absolutely.
And we hope you folks will be there at the conference. Please come and say hello.
Come and find us.
Yep.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day for Wednesday. We're going to go ahead and sign off, and we'll see you on Friday. Thanks, guys.